My name is Megan, and this is my story. So, I have always been a Christian. There's not a time in my life where I don't remember, not being a Christian. Like I've been one since I was 3 because my friends were all Christians growing up, and like my family, I'm surrounded by a Christian family. So, it just influenced me in such a way that I've always been a Christian. However, there has been some periods in my life where I have drifted away from God and not been so close to Him. I haven't had such a good relationship with Him sometimes. One of those times was during that hard time of life called middle school. And I don't know, I just somehow got this feeling that, having a relationship with God wasn't so important anymore. And what was really important in life was that I get some friends. Well, I already had friends, but I get like a lot of friends, and that they all think I'm cool, and that's how my life needs to go. That's what's going to make me happy, and that's what's really important. So I pretty much dropped God, ditched Him, in order to do that. And yeah, so in order to fit in with everyone and for them to think I was cool at that age, I figured that I needed to start cussing. I needed to start listening to music and watching movies that everyone else was watching, which, they weren't appropriate at all. Even for people that are older, they're not appropriate. So I started doing that. I started rebelling against my parents. I started saying mean things about my parents to other people because that's what seemed cool at the time. So I did that. I was putting things that I knew that were wrong into like positive lights, like saying how cool it was to, do this, or, oh yeah, that's so cool, when I knew it was wrong in my heart. So I was at a interesting place in my life. After a while though, it caught up with me. I realized that, well, I didn't realize, but I just became super sad and hopeless and empty. And I just remember one night I was sitting on the couch with my mom, and I was just sobbing because I didn't feel good enough for just life. I didn't feel accepted. I didn't feel, I honestly felt like a failure at what I was doing in life. And I think around that point in my life, I realized that I needed something else, something other than friends, than just like love from family. And, because I had these friends that loved me, I had family that loved me to death, but I still felt worthless and like a failure and just crappy about my life. So I realized that like, hey, you know what? I think something's missing, and God was in my life before, and now He hasn't been. So, maybe I need to start, listening to God again, and like, having a relationship with Him again, because I hadn't had that for quite a while. So, I started listening to what He had to say about my life, and His words completely changed my life. I went from, feeling like a failure to God telling me, Megan, you're going to be the person that you're supposed to be. Don't worry about it. And, I realized that God has a plan for my life, and He's planned it Himself. He knows what's going to happen. And, if I allow Him to do that purpose, it will come true. And I just, that's put such a change in my life where I don't feel like failure anymore. I feel like I have a plan, and I am worth something because I'm on this world, And He replaced that depression that I'd slipped into, and the sadness that I felt like I couldn't crawl out of. He replaced it with this just abundant joy. And I honestly tell you, like, no one else could have put that joy in my life. I don't know where it came from, but God has just made me like such a happy person. And so, like, I don't know, like, things in life just like make me so happy, like to the extreme where like I feel like I'm crazy, and I'm sure other people think I'm crazy. But like dogs and stuff, like they make me freak out in just happiness. And the same thing with like music and let's see what else, nature, and just certain people around me. They make me like so happy, and every time I see them I'm like, oh, so God has just replaced that depressed, sad life with a girl who is just teeming with joy and happiness, and a girl who was a failure. He made that girl feel like she was really special and that she has a plan, and she is gonna be, an awesome thing in this world. So that is my story. I thank God for changing my life. So thank you for listening.